It was too good not to share it with. Oh, sorry. Hi. Hi, good morning. Hey, look at you. Of course, you're up early. Look, I got one from Michael's too. I just came off of Periscope, and so here I am on Instagram. Super excited because my Periscope. Hey, morning, Nabi. You're up early for San Francisco. Hey, what did they say? The best flattery is uh, to be mimicked, or maybe not saying the right word. This morning's message was too good not to share. That's what I was typing. All right. So I was on Periscope, which I love. Morning. I was just on Periscope. Periscope is big for me right now because Periscope um, really gives me an opportunity to meet like a lot of people all over the world. But what I wanted to share is that I was on Periscope talking about my best business tool is faith, right? So my best business tool is faith, and I shared a little bit about my story that when I first got started in business, my mentor, but I'm not going to say her name. She because she was terminally ill at the time that I was because she was terminally ill at the time, I basically took her to prayer every morning, right? Hi, good morning, Lady Vic. And it was by force, right? Because sometimes when you're doing something, you don't necessarily want to do it. And I was still like really, um, I don't know if you want to use the word ratchet, or still really like just, like, you know, I was young. I wanted to have fun. Hey, and good morning. And so by forced by force, because I needed to spend some time with my mentor, I, took her to church every morning and we went to prayer. But here is what that did for me in business. That's why I said this morning's message when I was on Periscope is my best tool in business is faith. So what it did for me is that I would be literally tired, because still now I seem to just like don't go to bed early. I don't know. I can stay up to like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, but that's like when my mind is like really creative. So what it did for me is that Monday through Friday, I was at prayer, and God was just downloading so many creative ideas to me. And it was like, it would be a download for marketing ideas, it would be a download for sales, it was even a download for how to submit my business license, my business application. And what was unique as I reflect back is that he was not giving that to her, he was giving that to me. So, you really have to, and this is something I didn't share because it just came to me, that you really have to go for your own serving. Like if you think about going to a buffet, or if you remember back in school, if you did eat school lunch and you went with your plate, or you went with your tray, and you were like, okay, you're going to get your own serving of food, whether it's a slice of pizzas, potatoes, you're either going to pick it up or they're going to put it in front of you, depending on what kind of buffet you at. Let's say Golden Corral. So as I went to prayer, I got so many great ideas for my business. And that is a principle that I have to remind myself to do even now. I have to remind myself to do that, because yesterday I was on my mentor. I was listening to my mentor. It was a private group. My mentor now is in the UK, and because if you're on my personal Instagram page, I have posted this in my Instagram stories, and this is a book called Prayer Banks, right? This is actually in my top 10 books, whether it's business books, relationships, and I jokingly put, that I found like $20, and it's still here. And actually, I should probably put like a date by this note. And so what I did is I asked him about this book, and he said, I said, well, you've gone on to write at least three other books about prayer. Is it still applicable? And he said yes. And so that just reminded me that I was not putting some of the things in place that were in this book, right? So, and also reminded me that I started off. Have you ever heard how some people say the in a relationship, or if the husband and wife are married, how you got her, that's how you have to keep her. Well, I'm going to say the same thing about business. How you got that business, continue on with those principles, continue on with those strategies. And if you're wondering, like, okay, I'm hitting my head against a brick wall, I'm reading this book, I'm going to this seminar, I'm going to this conference, and hey, I'm learning a lot of good things. Why is this not working? Well, for me, I would need to go back to my source, or go back to how I really have obtained marketing and business ideas in the past. And that was because I prayed. I just spent that time with prayer, in prayer. And sometimes we were late to pray, but you to prayer. So I would suggest that you do at least an hour. And it's going to make a world of difference. Now, going back to the subject of faith as a business tool. So what it did is it built up my faith, because, and this is really different than what I shared before. Hey, thanks for joining. When I was getting these downloads, like I said, he wasn't giving it to her. And so I started doing it, and it started working. So just imagine how I felt that I started doing a marketing secret, a sales secret that I got downloaded just that morning, and it started producing business. It started to produce customers. So then, of course, that built my faith, and that made me want to go continue to do more of Monday through Friday. I was having that prayer time. I was getting my download. So I have been quoting, thanks for the hearts. I have been quoting this one particular book on a couple of my pages, thanks for the hearts, whether it was my Periscope or my Next Female Entrepreneur Instagram page. And before I show you this book, this is a book that a lot of people, some people know about, and a lot of people don't know about. And that's Think and Grow Rich. Okay? Some people know about, a lot of people don't know about. A lot of people don't know about Think and Grow Rich because, number one, this book was first published in 1939 and is still applicable today. Think and Grow Rich. Now, what I said when I was on Periscope, it doesn't say work and grow rich. It doesn't say pray and grow rich. It says think and grow rich. Now, what I said earlier today is that it takes the principle of Proverbs 23:7. For as he or she thinketh, so is he, so is she. Eat and drink, says he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. So if you don't get it straight here, your heart is not going to agree. You're not going to be able to say, okay, I feel good about making that move. I feel good about what my head is telling me to do. And prayer is not the only way. I do suggest that you do your affirmations. That's definitely another thing that you should be doing in the morning. Do your affirmations because you are affirming what you believe. If you are thinking about prosperity, if you think about business success in any industry, one of the things I say on Periscope is that you have a specific marketplace. Your marketplace could be fashion. Your marketplace could be dance. Your marketplace could be in healthcare. Your marketplace could be to help other entrepreneurs. Whatever your marketplace is, could be in IT, wherever it is, then that is your jam. That's like almost like if you were to go to a mall, and like because we're in the Washington D.C. area, that we have like Pentagon City, we have Annapolis Mall, and it's like you go to, that is the mall. That is like the mall where you can get like really nice stuff, or that's the mall where you can find this kind of store. That is your marketplace. That is your marketplace. That is where people are going to come to you for what you do, what you are really good at. And you need to be very comfortable with what you do. You need to be comfortable with whatever business, whatever product that you represent. So you can have a business, a product, service. Your business is either a product or service. Excuse me. So let me tell you a little bit about Napoleon Hill, who wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. At the time, if you guys have ever heard of John Rockefeller, which you should, because it's like Rockefeller Center in New York. Before John Rockefeller, there was a rich, very wealthy man, and he wasn't just wealthy in America. He was wealthy in he was wealthy. He was one of the richest people in the world at the time, and his name was Andrew Carnegie. So thank God for Andrew Carnegie, because at the time he thought that other people should know the secrets of the rich. And it says Andrew Carnegie was a Scottish American industrialist. Carnegie led the expansion of the American steel industry in the late 19th century and is often identified as one of the richest people and Americans ever. Okay, so he was one of the richest people, and he was preceded by John Rockefeller, because John Rockefeller was his industry was oil. So remember, we were talking about marketplace. So Andrew Carnegie's marketplace was steel. John Rockefeller's marketplace was oil. So don't envy somebody else's marketplace. There was plenty of money and purpose in Andrew Carnegie's marketplace, and then there was the another pile of money in John Rockefeller's marketplace. I learned a lot more about John Rockefeller when I was reading my mentor's book on what God taught me about money. And one of the things I learned about John Rockefeller is that he was a big giver. And so I'll come on and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But he was a big giver. So basically, Napoleon Hill was a journalist. And one of the things I love about that is that in the Bible, it talks about scribes. And so I'm really fascinated about people who were there to write history or record stuff. And so it's like you don't even really think about Andrew Carnegie. You think about Napoleon Hill. If you've ever heard about this book, or if not, hey, go read it. Go look it up. It's about 470 some pages. Most people are discouraged by any books over 100 pages. But I'm giving you this free resource. So if you want to go check it out, you're more than welcome to. But the principle of this book is what I just read you from Proverbs 23:7. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And it first starts here. Your thoughts get down here, because that's where you start to believe. You start to believe in yourself. You start to believe in the things that you're saying. So you got to be very careful. That's why I said it says think and grow rich, not pray, not work. It all starts with your thoughts. So you really have to reprogram your mind. So lastly, I just wanted to share with you guys, I'm about to go do my walk this morning. I said I was going to be disciplined and make sure that I'm getting my a workout. I did 2 days last week. I'm going to do 3 days this week. Is to just know that you need that if you, excuse me, that there are principles that you may see in textbooks. Actually, you'll never hear about this. You'll never have a business professor put this on a syllabus in a business class. I'll let you know, because I've taken business classes. I went to school for international business. They'll never tell you to think about being rich. They'll tell you about how to run a company, but they won't tell you how to start a business. See how that's very different? They'll tell you how to run a company, but they won't tell you how to start a business. So there's secrets, there's things that people will keep from you, and then you think you're learning something, but actually you're not. So you have to like be a little bit self-taught. But I don't want to keep rambling. Thanks for the hearts. And I just pray that whatever you guys are aspiring to do, that you be successful. But just know it starts here. As you go out and you pray and you spend that time with God, that you're going to get your download, just like I got my download. And then He's going to show you what is the best books to read. What is the I had one of my friends, she's a writer, and I really think that she's going to be big with ghostwriting. And she said, I took a class that was going to make me less money, or I was going to lose money, but it was going to improve my skill. Now, that was a big risk for her, but she is sacrificing something so she can actually improve on her skill and make more money, and make more, to be at a spirit of excellence, to be better at what she does, so she can charge more. And so fear would just say, no, I'm not going to do that. I really need to pay this bill off, or this is not going to give me enough money. But you have to make little sacrifices, and that's why I said you need to be a prayerful person, because you'll know what decisions to make, what things to do and what things not to do. But anyway, enjoy your morning coffee, morning tea, orange juice, or lemon water, whatever you do. Have a great day. Bye.